All right, UFC Fight Night. Kamaru Usman versus Buckley in Atlanta, Georgia just went down. And yeah, the event's over. I enjoyed the event from from start to finish, but to be fair, I am drunk right now. I will likely be drunk after most events happen because I do like to drink during the cards. So I am not sober at all right now. So, but let's get through this. We start off with Jamie Lynn Horth versus Vanessa Dumopoulos. Jamie Lynn Horth just kind of dominated, as I kind of predicted. 11-7 is just a despicable record to have. Now 11-8. Please never touch a UFC octagon again. I don't know if you guys heard any of that, but I did crack my neck twice. My cat in the background. Come on, camera. What are you doing? All right, he's being dumb. But yeah, so Vanessa Demopoulos is dog shit. Never touch a UFC octagon again. Philip Rowe versus Angelusa. I predicted Philip Rowe. I don't remember if I called a finish or not, but he did get a knockout. It was a beautiful knockout. Holding his I'll use this hand because the camera's reversed. Holding his head. Bah, 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 bah. Man, it was beautiful. Angelusa looked terrible. Looked like a fighter that, I'm drunk, so I don't want to shit on the fighters too much because they're all in the UFC. But the finishing sequence, I think the red lighting is fucking with the camera. But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna turn my AC off for a minute. Wait, let me. Ugh. I moved the camera because I'm not fucking wearing anything under my shirt. Charles Oliveira shirt. But yeah, Angelusa, I can't believe he couldn't. Not being able to fight that finishing sequence looks really bad on him, because he was getting his face held, and he was just getting tagged up. No head movement, no attempt to defend anything. It is what it is. I've never had a perfect card, but we'll see. I picked Ricky Simon, I believe. Ricky Simon versus Cameron Smotherman. I believe I may have picked Ricky Simon by knockout. I feel like he should have gotten it. I feel like it looks kind of bad on him that he couldn't get it. Because Cameron Smotherman was like, what, 4 or 5 days short notice? And he lost the third round. It's not a good look for Ricky Simone. But it is what it is. Hope my cat doesn't break anything. But yeah, Ricky Simone grappled him early, had a lot of success with the grappling, controlled him. Couldn't really land too many power shots on the feet. But Ricky Simone, he lost the third round. Cameron Smotherman was really looking like he was hurting him in the third round. Had that been a 5-round fight, it could have went a lot different. But obviously it wasn't. If anything, this fight proved to me that Charles Jourdain would have beaten Ricky Simone, probably by finish, because I think Charles Jourdain is a much better striker than Cameron Smotherman with more power. So, yeah. Moving on, Cody Durden versus Jose Ochoa. I picked Jose Ochoa by knockout. Very, very, very happy to see that come true. Jose Ochoa, come on, camera, looked really incredible against Loner Kavanaugh, although he lost. Man, this is. I might have to turn off the red. I might have to turn off the red. Wait, let me fix it just a little bit like that. Man, this is incredible. Okay. Yeah, no. My camera doesn't work well with the red. We gonna change it. Damn. This is just bright. Look at my cat. This is just bright as fuck, though, dude. I don't want it to be that bright. Blue? Will it handle the blue well? We'll find out. But yeah, I was happy to see Jose Ochoa get that knockout. The round one was decently competitive. I gave it to Jose Ochoa though, and then he just slept Cody Durden immediately in round two. It was beautiful. Let me pull my camera down a little bit. I feel like you can't see me that much. Slept Jose Ochoa in round two. Immediately smoked him. Beautiful to watch. Beautiful performance from Jose Ochoa. I am very excited to see what he has in store for us going forward. I believe that Lona Kavanaugh is the future of the flyweight division. I believe he is incredible and will probably be champion at some point. Jose Ochoa will be a top ranked opposition. That will be a problem for every lightweight in the future at some point. So I'm excited to see that. Cody Durden is just a very, very inconsistent fighter. And it's just someone you can't trust. Inconsistent grappling and striking and chin and everything about him is just inconsistent in my opinion. It is hard to predict a fight with him, and you can never trust him. So I'm happy I trusted Jose here. Estoy feliz. Moving on to Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Matinho. I didn't give Chris Matinho any chance coming into this fight. I said he would get dominated and slept in round one, and that is exactly what happened. It was another right hand, I believe, a beautiful fucking right hand from Malcolm Wellmaker. Just puts him out cold for a second. I mean, he got back up fairly quickly, but the shot that he landed, I mean, he landed face first on the canvas. It was beautiful. Even before that, he was just winning. He was winning the minutes, landing the better shots. Chris Matinho, I don't know if he can ever be anything in the UFC. Kind of crazy that Sean O'Malley didn't put him out, but the difference in the striking styles. One thing about Sean O'Malley that's always kind of been, not too good about his striking game is the fact that he doesn't throw hooks. He doesn't throw hooks, and that is what put Chris Matinho out cold tonight. So. I like Malcolm Wellmaker a lot. He's very fun to watch. He has an incredible personality. He's a really cool human being, and it's so cool to see him succeed and achieve his dream. He was just a welder. Malcolm Wellmaker. Man, who should get the bonuses on this card? I think you should give a performance bonus. We ain't giving no bonuses to Usman. Dude has enough money and he has enough wins. I think we give a performance bonus to Malcolm Wellmaker. And fight of the night to who gets fight of the night, man? Angelusa Philipro, maybe. But anyways, moving on to Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. I chose Court McGee retardedly because I do not believe in Michael Chiesa, and I've never believed in Michael Chiesa. And I'm not saying I've ever believed in Court McGee, but I don't know. I just think that Michael Chiesa is just so soy and so Like he's one of those jiu-jitsu guys, I guess, that come over try to compete in the UFC with literally nothing else. He has no striking and he has no grappling, but I guess or he has no wrestling. I guess man, I guess Court McGee just is just that bad, huh? I don't think as a professional fighter you should ever lose to Michael Chiesa. Um, and if you do, I don't think you should compete in the UFC again. To be honest with you, because I don't think Chiesa should compete in the UFC again. But I should have just looked at it as, listen, here's this. Michael Chiesa took a round off of Sean Brady, and Court McGee did not. So, I mean, it is what it is. Um, it is what it is, man. Michael Chiesa wins. Congratulations, Michael Chiesa. You know, we're moving on. Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bellato. Fuck Rodolfo Bellato. That was fake. I mean, that was fake as hell. I mean, I'm gonna give my opinion real quick. When I watched Aljamain Sterling versus Pyotr 1, and Pyotr landed that knee, I was not one of those guys that believed Aljo faked that. I was always on the side of Aljamain Sterling, and I was saying, Pyotr is retarded. Pyotr shouldn't have thrown that knee. Pyotr, my stance was always my stance was always this. Either Pyotr is one, retarded as hell and does not know the rules of the sport in which he competes in, or B, he did it on purpose and attempted to knock out Sterling with an illegal move, hoping the ref wouldn't care. Those are the only two possible outcomes, in my opinion. And either way is bad for Pyotr. And I got a lot of shit on Twitter and online and from my friends for acting as if, or for saying that Aljamain Sterling wasn't in the wrong, which I didn't think he was then, and I still don't think he is now. Aljamain Sterling had multiple surgeries because of that knee, proving me right. And I picked Aljamain Sterling to win the rematch, and he did, and I was happy about it. And my whole point in explaining all that was to say that I really try to give the benefit of the doubt for the fighter that got hit with the illegal shot. I'm not that guy that, without deep diving, I'm not that guy that goes, oh, he faked that shit. Get him out of here. So immediately I was yelling like, oh my God, he put Rodolfo out cold with an illegal upstrike. And then I seen the replay. I seen him look at the ref. And then he gets down. Rodolfo Bellato does not smack the back of his head onto the octagon floor. He gently places his head down on the mat, which means he couldn't have even gotten knocked out by falling back onto the canvas. And he didn't get knocked out by the upkick because he looked at the ref like this. Rodolfo Bellato 100% faked that, hoping to get a disqualification win, and it is a disgrace. I don't like fighters that do that, and I think that if you do that, you are a pussy, and it's just, there's no other way around it. You're a disgrace. Rodolfo Bellato was going to win that fight regardless because he's just better than Paul Craig, but I am at least happy that Paul Craig doesn't have to suffer another loss, because I really like Paul Craig. Man, I'm fighting back so many yawns and hiccups and shit. But yeah, Rodolfo Bellato 100% faked that. He did not get knocked out. It was an illegal upkick, to be fair to him. But had he took it like a grown ass man and wanted to continue the fight, I'd have respected. I would have respected it. But that was not a real knockout. That was not a real reaction from Rodolfo Balazzo, and it was embarrassing. A no contest win. At least Paul Craig snaps his losing streak. You know? I don't think those should be illegal, though. I think it's retarded. Why the fuck is that even an illegal shot? You are on your back. You are at the You are on. Let me calm down. You are at the disadvantage with being on your back in that position, and you can't upkick. I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to hear it. That rule should be changed. There should be no grounded opponent. I mean, no matter how many knees you got on the ground, you should be able to get punished for whatever. So I find that stupid. In a perfect world, not even in a perfect world. In a logical world where whatever Paul Craig did was legal because it should be, that is a fucking TKO for Paul Craig. So, whatever. Moving on to the main card. I feel like I didn't talk about the prelims enough. Video's only 16 minutes long. Did I miss something in the prelims? No? Okay. I guess I'm just getting through it quickly. Main card. Alonzo Menifield versus Omar Sy. I picked Alonzo Menifield. What was he, like a plus 550 favorite? Or underdog, was it? I had faith in Alonzo Menifield because he is just so incredibly hard to take down and grapple. And I believe that Alonzo Menifield was better on the feet. Now, I'll be honest with you. I did not watch all of this fight because I was getting like food ready because my parents wanted to like order food from somewhere, and I was in their room and we were discussing it and stuff. So I actually didn't watch the entire fight, but from what I was in here watching, it did look like that Alonzo Menifield was doing a bit better on the feet, and being just very hard to grapple. Typical Alonzo Menifield. No knockdowns. Not many strikes thrown. It was I don't know. But I'm happy for Alonzo Menifield, and I'm happy I got that underdog right. Yeah. Moving on. Oh my god. Moving on to Mansour Abdul Malik versus Cody Brundage. Didn't this fight have a really weird ending? This fight was pretty lackluster until round 3 when they immediately decided to just turn it on. Maybe because they heard the fan reception. I don't know. But they turned it on. Mansour Abdul Malik was doing a lot more damage. He dropped Cody Brundage, was really putting it on him. What happened? My drunk brain is trying to remember what happened in that fight. Why am I yawning so much? Ooh. A head clash, yes. A nasty head clash that was very unintentional. But Mansour Abdul Malik was the advancing party. He was the one putting on the pressure, so he should have been a bit more careful when entering that void, as Demetrius Johnson would say. But head clash, drops Cody Brundage, ends up getting the TKO, but upon review, they changed it to a decision, which I thought was pretty weird. To score because they scored round 3. They scored round 3, even though round 3 was 36 seconds long. they scored it as a full round, which I don't even know if we've ever seen before. So a bit weird of a situation there. We've had many head clash finishes in the UFC before. They've never done that before. I mean, Kevin Holland literally got head clashed. He's so annoying. Kevin Holland literally got head clash KO'd against Kyle Dawkins. Was that his name? One of the Dawkins brothers. And he literally just let Kevin Holland got put out cold. Fell face first, straight on the ground. The ref just let the fight continue. Kevin Holland ends up getting submitted. Because he's like, crazy, like, what are you doing, bro? He's like crazy disoriented and shit. I'm going to block him a little bit. Crazy, man. Moving on. I'm on camera. Cody Garbrandt, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, Cody Garbrandt, but you have to do something. He looked masterful in round one. Defended like every takedown. Low-key kind of dropped Raoni Barcelos levels above on the feet. Masterful defense with the grappling. Round 2 and 3, he's just not the same guy. He's just a totally different fighter. His name is no longer Cody Garbrandt in rounds 2 and 3. I don't even know what the fuck happened. You know what this brings me to 0 and 2 with my underdog of the week picks, man. I'm not starting off well. At all. See, if Charles Jourdain wouldn't have pulled out, I would have been 1-1 with my picks. With my underdog of the week picks. But yeah. So. Is that my fourth time yawning in this video? I'm gonna take a shower after this and then go to bed. But Cody Garbrandt, don't fight again. Come on, camera. What is this? I gotta get some better lighting, man. My master bedroom does not have a light. The LED string lights I put up in my room are the only source of light in my room other than like my TV and my PC. I don't know why. It just doesn't have. It's the master bedroom too. I live in a master bedroom, and it still just doesn't have a light at the top of the room. Anyways, moving on to Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Petroski. I think Andre Petroski is terrible and probably shouldn't even be in the UFC. I know he's a good grappler, but like his striking is terrible, and he got like KO'd by his own takedown attempt on a hip. It's just one of the worst displays of durability that we've ever seen in the UFC. And after I've seen that, it's just hard for me to believe that you could potentially be anything at all, even among the unranked. With good reason, might I add. It's not like I'm being unfair. I wish he would just like relax somewhere. It's not like I'm being seriously unfair to Andre Petroski. But whatever. Edmund looked really good. Dropped Andre with a body shot in round 3, I think it was. Beautiful body shot. Kind of weird he couldn't find the finish. But some guys are just hard to finish, I guess. Andre Petroski is not one of them, so I don't know why I said that. But Edmund Shabazian is kind of a hit-or-miss fighter. He can always look good, but he can always lose. So I was a little worried at times when Andre Petroski would try to go for some grappling exchanges, because I know he has some pretty good submissions. But I believed in Edmund Shabazian, and I knew he'd get it done. So congratulations, Edmund Shabazian. Moving on to the co-main event, Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. I'm going to be honest. You can absolutely give this fight to Miranda Maverick rounds 1 and 2. I think I remember scoring round 1 for Rose, but I do not at all hate Miranda Maverick 2-1 here. I said that Rose Namajunas would finish Miranda Maverick. She almost did, to be fair. Yeah, number 5. She almost submitted her with a rear naked choke. I thought she was under the neck. And then Miranda Maverick got out of it and got Rose Namajunas into a arm triangle, which she didn't finish because I believe when I was watching, I was thinking, damn, Miranda Maverick isn't flattening herself out. She's keeping her butt in the air and her back in the air. Had she had flattened herself out sooner, she probably would have actually submitted Rose Namajunas there, which would have been incredibly impressive. But she kept her butt in the air, keeping the pressure off of the choke she had on Rose Namajunas. And Rose Namajunas got out of it. She turned to her left and got out of the submission, which was pretty impressive. They both escaped a very dangerous submission all within like a minute or something like that. So that was cool to see for sure. That was a good fight. Definitely wasn't number 6. Come on, camera. This is unacceptable. I'll have to figure out some better lighting in the future so that this camera action doesn't happen like this. But Rose Namajunas, her brother, I don't like her brother. I remember a few years ago he had like a meltdown on Twitter after a loss of hers, saying like, "Oh, she's a better boxer than like Ilia Topuria," he said, or some shit like that. I don't like him. I think he's weird. I get she's your sister, but you don't have to just be delusional and very obviously wrong about everything you said. He said 3-0 Rose here, and I just disagree with that. I don't think you can give a 3-0 to either one, but I think... Whoa, yawn number 7. But yeah, good by Rose Namajunas. I still don't understand how she ever beat Weili Zhang. I think Weili Zhang clearly won the rematch. But the first fight was crazy. Head kick knockout. Rose Namajunas, what does she do next, right? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Miranda Maverick, this is nothing to her but a little setback. She fought and lost, although you can argue a win, but she lost officially to a former champion. I just messed up the volume of my mic, so if I'm too loud or too low, I am sorry. She arguably won, but officially lost to a former champion, former multiple-time champion, so nothing to be too ashamed of, Miranda. This is actually the first time I've ever picked against her in her entire UFC career. So I am 100. My prediction rate is 100% when picking a Miranda Maverick fight. So, wait, what did I just say? I think I just said that this is Miranda Maverick's only loss in the UFC. I don't believe that's true. She lost to Erin Blanchfield and Macy Barber. I did pick her in both fights, to be fair. Okay. I'm drunk, don't mind me. But yeah. Good fight. It was entertaining. Good to see Rose Namajunas still on top. We'll see what she does in the flyweight division. We'll see if she can challenge for a title. She probably can eventually, but moving on to the main event of Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. I digged myself a hole in my prediction video with this fight. I said that Joaquin Buckley will never lose to a grappler in the 170-pound division because I believed that his defensive grappling, his defensive grappling was too good for all the grapplers, and B, or two, he is a better striker than every grappler in the division. So I just thought that for a grappler, he's just a nightmare matchup, an absolute nightmare matchup. Kamaru Usman dominated, man. I had it 4-1 Kamaru Usman, with round 5 being the only round for Joaquin Buckley, because it just kind of looked like Kamaru Usman was trying to coast. He didn't want to really... He shot a lot of takedowns that failed, and he really didn't want to give Joaquin Buckley any kind of chance to pull off a Leon Edwards, which I knew was never going to happen, because Kamaru Usman already had that round 5 KO loss after he'd been winning the rest of the fight. He was never going to let that shit happen again. Just being real. He was never going to let that ever happen again. Very impressive for Kamaru Usman in this matchup. He looked damn good, man. Just dominant. Buckley looked absolutely lost on the ground every time he got there. Usman opened him up in round 1. Round 2 continued it. Got the takedown. Stayed on top of him. The one thing about Kamaru Usman's career that has just stopped him from reaching even greater heights is the willingness to, or the purposefulness to specifically never chase a submission. Usman has went out of his way to make sure he never even attempts a submission, which is incredible to me. Because, this looked like one of those fights where had he been chasing him specifically, he probably would have gotten it. Because he was just way too strong for Joaquin Buckley. Even though Buckley was a bit bigger out there, looked a bit stronger physically to the eye. But Usman just he was physically stronger. You know? Crazy. I would love to see... I think you have to capitalize on the Kamaru Usman, Belal Muhammad beef. Man, I think you have to capitalize on that. Get them on a card. Get them on a card in Abu Dhabi in October or September. No. There's no pay-per-view in September. But I think that should be a pay-per-view main card fight. In Abu Dhabi or something. Man, fuck it. Put that on the DDP Hamzat card in August, man. Usman really didn't take that much damage. But I don't know if... I just realized my microphone was off. I have no idea how long it was off for. So I don't even know what all I said when it was off. I was just talking about how good Kamaru Usman looked tonight. And I think you got to capitalize on the Kamaru Usman versus Belal Muhammad beef. You have to capitalize on that, dude. That would sell. That would fucking sell. Put that fight on an Abu Dhabi card later this year in October or something like that. That's beautiful. No reason either guy shouldn't fight again this year. But who knows? It's the UFC, right? Guys don't like to fight. Yeah. Pretty good card tonight. I enjoyed it, but I tend to enjoy most cards that other people don't because I do get drunk as hell. I don't get drunk every card, but when I do, I typically do enjoy the card a bit more. Decent night of fights today. I love it. Thank you guys for watching. I will say, though, my boy Charles Oliveira needs to beat Ilya Ilya Taptoro later this month. The little rat, Ilya Taptoro. Ilya might probably fucking win, unfortunately. I've been going back and forth on the pick. You know what it seems like? I'm gonna make a whole prediction video for that, but I just kind of want to say this here real quick. It seems like when it comes to me predicting how both fighters can win, it seems like I have to reach deeper in the bag to find a win for Charles Oliveira than it does when I have to find a way for Ilya Taporia to win. I want to predict and I want to feel like Charles Oliveira is going to win, but when I explain how Ilya can win, I'm just like, oh yeah, he's a good boxer, he's good power, he could just put the hands on Charles Oliveira and put him out. But when I'm talking about Charles Oliveira, I'm reaching. I'm like, oh, he has a leg kicks. I know he gets dropped a lot, but he has a jiu-jitsu to, stand to fall back on. And I just feel like I have to explain it more, which is not a good sign at all. But good night of fights here. Amazing night of fights. Amazing's pushing it. I don't know why I said that. I am low-key dragging this at 36 minutes, so I will end this because I gotta go take a shower and go to bed. I hope I covered everything. I do not watch back my videos, so if I miss something, I won't know. Put it in the comments if you think I missed something. But what's next week? That's the Azerbaijan card. All right. Tomorrow starts my tape watching for that card. And I promise, my underdog of the week will hit next week. Starting off 0-2 ain't fun. But the ending will be better. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the fights as much as I did. Have a good week.